Patsy, Connie, and loudmouth Linda, keeping it real, no agenda. Satire, truth, and a whole lot of fun. Politics, crime, we get it all done. From breaking news to a joke or two, we do it our way just for you. We just can't make this stuff up. 1 year strong and we ain't gonna stop. Mic in hand, voices loud, shouting truth, making you proud.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so here I am, and it's later, and the court's already been going for a little while. So what I've decided is we're going to play catch up, right? So then we don't have to wait so long for the next response. So I'm going to go ahead and read what has happened this morning, and then we will go from there. What do you guys say? What do you say? What do you say? Hope I'm finding everybody good this morning. So we're going to start from 2 hours ago, right? And then we'll go through it real quick. And then once we're caught up, we'll go from there. What do you guys say? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So this morning when it first started, the courtroom deputy, marshals, can you bring the defendant out? Oh, I think Mr. Donaldson is in there in the holding cell with Mr. Combs. So they bring in Diddy. Judge Sabarian. Let's start with the compilation. I can't say that word. Compilation. Sorry. Video. I got this letter. Diddy docket in real time in Sean Combs trial. U.S. wants compilation. See, there goes that word again. Video into proof force use after inner city. All right. So here we go. Judge, is Mr. Garcia competent to testify about the video given his position in the hotel security? Prosecution. Steiner, I have not really asked him about that aspect. Judge, we are not using the correct cell phone video, so this could get in under the rules. Combs, Garagos, the way the video is cut makes it appear that Mr. Combs came right after Miss Ventura and she didn't. Prosecution. Steiner, I'd like to address this. I'd like to address the timestamps on security videos. They are routinely inaccurate. Judge, the defense concern could be allayed by inserting breaks between the clips. Prosecution, since they will be testifying, it's hard for them to be editing the clips at this time. We don't think it's misleading. The judge, the defense can cross-examine at this time. Prosecution, given the defense played the video of Mia's birthday video for Mr. Combs, we want to introduce recording of his jail calls about organizing social media celebrations of his birthday, which he views as a way to change the narrative. So now they introduce his jailhouse calls. You think he was singing? You think he was singing Jailhouse Rock? I don't know, but it's pretty funny. All right. So, prosecution. There was someone broadcasting Mia's name just outside the courthouse in Foley Square yesterday. And what they mean by Mia's name is her real name. And we asked from the back of the court, and then from the back of the courtroom, Diddy, they're coming. Somebody screamed, "They're coming after you, Diddy. They're coming after you, those mother effers." Judge, court security officer, escort that person out. So somebody's been removed from the courthouse right now. Judge continuing, the video timestamps. How long is it? If 40 minutes, it will be good for 403 argument. Agnophilia. This could be an easy fix, but the witness is on this is will be on the stand in 2 hours. Judge. Where does he live? New York? Prosecution, Florida. Judge, bring in the jury. All rise. Jurors, there is some scheduling modifications, including that on June 11th. We will not start until 1 p.m. Also, June 5th from 11 to 4 and June 20th, that day after the Juneteenth, will stop at 1. Call your next witness. Prosecution. The government calls Eddie Garcia. Where did you work on the day in question? Garcia. The Intercontinental Hotel. I was told there was an incident involving Sean Combs. Prosecution. Do you see him here? Steele. We stipulated, so Steele will be doing cross-examination. Prosecution, let me show you your sign-in sheet for the day. Garcia, yes, I signed that. Week ending March 10th, 2016. Prosecution, could you monitor all the cameras? Not at all, but more than one at a time. Would you be required to check the monitors? Yes. Prosecution, did you intentionally recognize the individual? Did you initially, recognize the individual involved in this incident? Not at first, but when I looked closer, yes, it was Mr. Sean Combs. Prosecution, and did you learn who the second individual was? Garcia, yes, Miss Cassie Ventura. Prosecution, why was the law enforcement not called? Garcia, Miss Ventura did not request it. Prosecution, did you review the incident report? Garcia, yes. There was an attachment that I didn't open on the computer video file. Did you receive a call? Yes. From whom? Garcia, Christina Corman with New York area code. She asked if I had the video. Prosecution, and what did she ask for? Garcia, the video. She said Mr. Combs had been intoxicated and didn't remember exactly. Combs, Steele. Objection. Judge, sustained. Prosecution, sidebar. So they went to a sidebar. Now they're back. Prosecution, what did you tell Miss Coram? Garcia, that she would have to talk to management. Prosecution, did she reach out again? Garcia, yes, I got a call from the lobby and she was there looking for me. Prosecution, what did she ask for? The video. How did you respond? That she had to talk to management or file a subpoena. Prosecution, did you tell her what you saw on the video? Garcia, yes, I told her. Off the record, it's bad. Prosecution, did you get another call? Garcia, yes, from another New York area code. Garcia, it was Mrs. Coram. She put someone else on the phone. Prosecution, who? Mr. Combs. He asked, do you know who I am? Prosecution, what did you say? I said, he asked for the video, said he'd been intoxicated, and I told him I can't give the video. Prosecution, how did he sound? Garcia, he was talking fast and stuttering. He sounded nervous. Prosecution, did you email management? Yes. Prosecution, bring up GX7-R-149. What is it? What is it? The email I sent. Steele. Objection. Overruled. Email as shown has Combs' phone number on it and is not redacted. It says Combs, aka P. Diddy, says he is a Patreon and wants to talk to you. Prosecution, did you get more calls from Mrs. Coram? Garcia, yes, on my personal number. Prosecution, did you react? How did you react? Nervous. Garcia, Miss Coram passed the phone to Mr. Combs again. What did he say? That I sounded like a good guy. He could help. That something like this could ruin him. He wanted the video and he said if it's got out of if it got out, it would ruin his career. Oh, too bad. Garcia, I said I didn't have access to the server. He told me he believed I could make it happen and it could take care and it could take care of me. And he could take care of me. Prosecution, what did you think he meant? Money for the video. Prosecution, what did you do? Reached out to my supervisor about it. So he's out asking his supervisor, is it okay if we get rid of this video? And is it okay if we sell it to him? Crooked as shit, man, I tell you. Anyway. Prosecution, who is your supervisor? Garcia, Bill Medrano. He told me he would do it for 50. Bill Medrano said he would do it for 50K. Prosecution, what did you think that meant? Garcia, he'd give the video for $50,000. Prosecution, what did you do? Garcia, called Christina, who put Mr. Combs on. He called me Eddie, my angel. Oh, yeah. Oh, Eddie, my angel. You are going to save my life. You're going to take away the video so that no one will ever see it. Oh, you're my angel. Oh, get out of here. You make me sick. Garcia. Mr. Combs told me I knew you could do it. Let me do it right away. I told Miss Bill Medrano. Prosecution, what did he do? Garcia, he went into the server room. Then he handed me a black USB and said, done. The video was on the USB. What did you do? Told Mr. Combs. Where did Mr. Combs want to meet? West LA. He said, let's get it done. He wanted the video as soon as possible. I told Bill Medrano. He told me to tell the others I was on an errand for him. Shady, shady, Mr. Medrano. I hope you cut a deal. Prosecution, GX8-A-104. What hours did you list? Answer, 10 to 1800. Prosecution, where was the meeting point? A big high-rise building. I called the number and someone came and said it was Mr. Combs' bodyguard. How did he look? Older African American, heavy set, 6'3" to 6'5". Prosecution, what did he say? That he kind of came up with Mr. Combs, that he was a good guy and I was doing a good thing. Prosecution, upstairs? Garcia, Mr. Combs was smiling, called me Eddie, my angel. My voice was cracking, so I said I was coming down with something. Yeah, that's pretty good. Garcia, Mr. Combs told Christina to go get me some of the tea that he liked. Then he asked, do you have it? I said yes, and I handed it to him. Prosecution, what'd he do? Garcia, he left, came back. He asked if it was the only copy. Prosecution, and you said? I believe so. Garcia, Mr. Combs said it had to be the only copy, nothing in the cloud. I called Mr. Medrano and he said it was the only copy. He took it off the server. Wow. See, it's amazing what kind of illegal stuff can be done if you have a lot of money, right? Prosecution. What else did he say? That if Cassie filed a complaint, I could get in trouble. Garcia. Mr. Combs said, "Don't worry. Cassie wanted it too. He called her on FaceTime and showed me. She was in a hoodie, but I recognized her." Prosecution, what did Miss Ventura say? That she had a movie coming out and wanted this not to come out. Okay, so my crazy little mind thinks a little bit. Do we know for sure that that was Cassie? Just saying. Maybe maybe somebody else was in a hoodie and was portraying to be Cassie. I mean, you never know, as crazy as this court case is. All right. So Garcia said he wanted my ID and that of Mr. Medrano and the responding officer, Mr. Flores. But he's very straight guy and probably wouldn't do it. I told Bill Medrano. Prosecution, what did Mr. Medrano say? Garcia, we'd get Henry Elias, the other responding officer. Garcia, when Mr. Combs saw the IDs, he looked at Henry's and said, "Yeah, that's him." Then he brought out the NDAs that I wouldn't speak about it. Yeah, look. Yeah, yeah. Here. Since you've this is your video, and it's the only one, and you've seen it, you better sign this because you better never talk about it. Whatever. Crazy. When Okay. So prosecution GXC 106. Do you recognize this? Garcia. It states I have provided the only copy of the video. Prosecution, did you read it? No, I was nervous. Were you given a copy? No. And the NDA? What were the liquidation damages? Garcia, $1 million. So he signed an NDA stating that if he talked about it and anyone else seen anything about it, that it was going to cost them $1 million. He was going to have to pay Diddy $1 million if he talked about it. Prosecution, how much were you making? How much were you making? And Garcia said $10.50 an hour. Wow. I wasn't making much money. No wonder. No wonder.
Hello.
Well, hello. I'm catching everybody up here, and then we can carry on here. So, let's see. Prosecution. Then what? Garcia, Mr. Combs put cash through the money counter. There was stacks of 10,000s at a time. The machine displayed at the end $100,000. Prosecution, why the additional 50K? Garcia, for me and what he thought was Israel Flores. How did Mr. Combs give you the 100,000 in a brown paper bag? Was the bodyguard there? Yes. And Mrs. Coram, was she present? I would say at that point, yes. I stood up. Prosecution signifying that I'd be leaving. Garcia, Mr. Combs escorted me to my car. He asked how I'd be spending it. He said not to make any big purchases. Judge, Mr. Steele, if you are objecting, speak into the microphone. That's sustained. Disregard the last part of that. Prosecution, what did you do? Garcia, called Bill Mondrano and gave him 50,000. Prosecution, how much did Mr. Elias Garcia? 20,000. Wow. So he only got 20,000. Prosecution, what did you do with the 30,000? Garcia bought a new car with cash. Prosecution, did you hear from Mr. Combs again? Garcia, yes, he called and told me happy Easter. If I ever needed anything, just to give him a call. Prosecution, and did you reach out to him later? Garcia, a few years later via Instagram asking if there was any work in LA. I never heard back. Sidebar. Sidebar. If I like and can and blah blah blah. Okay, so the back. Judge, anything further, Mr. Steiner? Prosecution, yes, Mr. Flores. Did you see the video again? Yes, on a news outlet. Also, Mr. Flores messaged me a screenshot. Did you keep these messages? No, I wanted nothing to do with it. Where did you contact my law enforcement? Were you contacted by law enforcement? Yes. Did you tell them the truth? No, I wanted nothing to do with it. Did you get your own lawyer and then told the truth? Yes. No further questions. Mr. Steele. And that is where we are at. Is that not insanity at its best?
Yep.
So, when you're a billionaire, you can bribe and you can buy people off and you can beat people. And that poor guy was only making 10, 15 an hour. That's what I got out of all of that.
Right.
So, how are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. I went bouncing over to the doghouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he is getting so lonely. So, what do you think? Tell me what you think about all this craziness so far.
I think this guy was smart to take immunity.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what's funny is the guy, the boss, got 50,000,
Yeah,
and he had to split his.
I wouldn't have did that.
No, and you know the one that isn't that Israel Flores the one that said that had the copy of the tape? Wasn't that him?
I think so.
So does that mean? Just curious. Does that mean that he did get some money for that tape?
I don't know. But I can tell you this much that that is considered extortion
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because obviously it wasn't the only copy.
Right. Right. Because he had it.
Yeah.
So who's extorting? Diddy or Israel Flores?
Now, I think Garcia did because he's the one that took the video there.
But didn't Israel Flores say that he went in there and did it on his phone, right? And then he went back. He was off for a couple days, and then when he went back, they were gone.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, maybe, but I guess Flores got the short end of the stick then.
He didn't get any money for it, and Garcia got a brand new car. Lucky him. So, who is the next? Who is the witness that we've got? Okay.
Garcia?
No, we have another one. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. We have 17 minutes ago. Steele, I have nothing further. Judge, redirect, prosecution, NDA, par 4. Can you read it after, however? However? Okay. Garcia, notify company to allow company to prevent disclosure. Prosecution, do you have to notify them first? Garcia, yes. Objection, overruled. Nothing further. Break. We will try to modify replies to make thread easier to follow. Okay. So now they're on break. How funny.
It's crazy.
But in other late breaking news, in was it North Carolina, there was a bust of 1,500 people last night.
1,500 people in a bus?
Uh huh. It bust in a bust.
Oh,
It
oh,
busted 1,500
oh,
people last night. Took them to jail, arrested them
wow.
in North Carolina. Now,
That's
what
amazing.
could that be on?
I don't know. I wonder.
Think it has anything to do with children?
Maybe.
I'll betcha. Betcha, betcha.
Maybe.
It's craziness.
Did you get
Oh,
your rose bush planted?
I got the rose bush planted. Went bouncing over there this morning and planted the rose bush. And then my son came to pick up his samples for the candy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching YouTube on some of the different comments and stuff. And I kept hearing ping, ping, ping. He sold 16 bags last night.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Old Wilhelmina Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm glad though. You know,
Yeah,
it'll help. It
I'm
will
sure.
help. I mean, at this point, anything will help, but it'll help.
Right.
So the one guy has 10. I was wondering, and I keep trying to ask, and nobody can give me. I even looked it up legally. If you confess and you say you did a crime, right? Like the guy that did that Boulder thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you said, I did it, I want everyone gone, I want them all dead, and I would do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And you this comes out of your mouth and you said this is what you why do you even have to have a trial?
You can waive a trial,
Well, he probably won't.
but you can. You can waive a trial.
I think he should waive a trial. He's already said he did it.
Well, it depends on what the lawyer advises him to do. But yeah, he can waive a trial. He can waive a jury trial.
But it has to be him. We can't waive it.
Him or his lawyer.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the judge can't go in there and say, hey, you know what? We're going to waive this.
No, the judge can't.
See?
Unless there's a new law that I don't know about, but I know
Well,
that you can waive because there was a well-known, I can't remember how long ago, but there was a well-known trial that they waived their right to a jury trial.
wow.
Actually, my son's friend just did that.
He waived a jury trial?
Mhm.
Why?
Um, well, he said he was gonna waive the jury trial and then took a plea deal because it was set to go to trial, and he
Yeah.
waived the jury trial and took the plea. So he's got I think 20 to 40.
Oh my God, that's a life sentence. That's
Mhm.
basically a life sentence.
Right, but it makes him eligible for parole.
Wow.
So
Oh, I get it. I get it now. So he could have had like life without parole.
that's exactly right. Exactly. They could have given him life, no parole. But instead, he took the plea for the option of getting parole.
I guess that works better, huh?
Well, yeah, but you're still looking at least 20 years.
Well, and here's the thing: if he wasn't guilty, if he's not guilty, that's the sad part.
Well,
Why do?
you and I discussed that behind the
Yeah,
shades,
yeah,
and you know,
yeah.
it is what it is. I mean,
There's not. There,
if he's taking the rap for somebody else, then more power to him if that's what he wants to do with his life, because
that's sad.
he ended his career. I mean, his career was just jump starting, and he's been doing this stuff forever. And his career just was starting. He just signed with Sony Records.
Gosh.
So, yeah.
Well, at least he didn't sign with Bad Boy, because there's not going to be a Bad Boy Records here pretty soon.
No. There's not going to be a Bad Boy Enterprise at all.
Oh no,
At all.
this is where the RICO starts coming in big time,
Right.
because you've got bribery and you've got paying off and all of this stuff now.
Mhm.
And it all, but you know, the funny thing is who has that much cash in their house that they have to have a cash counter?
Well, obviously he has that cash quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's all in his mom's name, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so we'll just put everything in your name, and then you can give me cash, and I'll just keep cash on hand, and I'll just work with nothing but cash.
Mhm. Oh, and by the way, I got my machine,
Okay.
and it doesn't sound like Darth Vader. It doesn't sound like anything. You can't hear
Good.
it at all.
Good.
So, mhm.
Did,
Yeah, I have a couple errands I have to run, but I told you if I could pop on, I would. Um, I have to go get some distilled water.
yeah, I'm gonna have to do a couple errands this morning too,
Yeah.
because but I figured I'd do about an hour and a half. I've got to Wilhelmina Wonka is running out of ingredients.
Yeah.
Didn't expect it to go over that big. I don't know why.
Well,
But
that's cool though.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
man, I'm happy
awesome.
about it. And I told myself, now we can't do this an everyday thing. Right? Please no.
Right. Right.
Once a week would be fine. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, because it's going to take me a day or two to catch up.
Right. You could probably do it on weekends and he could take it to work on Mondays.
Right. Exactly. And here's the thing. Not only that, um, I miss out on y'all, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
so I've got to be able to do the balance.
Yeah. So, all
So
right.
that's
Well,
what
I just wanted to pop in and say hello.
I'm glad you did.
See how you were doing this morning.
I'm a little tired. It's going to be nice to have my daughter back so that she can do the 2 o'clock dog pill medicine thing.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to sleep all night for the first time in 6 days.
I'm looking forward to sleeping tonight and seeing
I'll
how I
bet
wake
you
up.
are. I'll
Yeah.
bet you are. Are you coming on tonight at 6:30?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I will see you tonight at 6:30.
I might have my Bubba with me, but
That's all right. That's all right.
I will be here at tonight, most definitely.
All right.
You
All
guys
right.
have a great day. Love you
I
all.
love you too. Take care. We'll see you tonight.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. So that was nice. So we have a situation where Diddy is using his clout, and he's using his power and his control once again, right? He's got the manager of the hotel. Now, you know what? The manager of the hotel, his supervisor, should have never he's the one that put the figure on it, right? He's the one that said, Well, I'll take 50,000 for it. Well, that's not right. That's just not right. He shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be putting a figure on it. In fact, he shouldn't be selling it, period. That's wrong. And that's probably why he has that's why he's getting immunity off of the situation, because you know what? I didn't do anything, right? Right? You didn't do anything. It's insane. And with the fingerprint cards that went missing because the LAPD came in and told him to destroy it, that's another one that he had in his pocket, and he paid them off, and he paid them all off in cash. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, they do have receipts saying that he's paid some of the supplies for the freak off parties out of the um, the bad boy account. But I mean, just think about that. If you're paying in cash, I mean, it's still a bribery and it's still a payoff. I guess he figured that if you paid in cash, it would be harder to track down. What an idiot he is. He's just a flat idiot. Yeah, see, Garcia got with immunity. He signed immunity. He wasn't going to. He wasn't going to. He was afraid he was going to jail. Oh, he's going to go to jail for taking 50. He took a bribe of $100,000, paid his supervisor 50,000. Good morning, Whoopi. What do you think? What do you think? He took and the supervisor's the one that put the money on it, put the price tag on it. Is that like insane? I'll take $50,000 for this video. And so Combs decided that, Garcia is really kind of involved in it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw another 50,000 so he could give a little bit to his friend Israel and a little bit to himself, and then pay the supervisor 50,000. It's insane. It's totally insane. Right? Right. We're right now on a break. I've caught us all up on everything. It was everything. I can kind of basically do a quick rundown. It was the security guard, and KK had kept calling him, and finally went down to the hotel to talk to him and got Diddy on the phone and said, and Diddy called him his angel. Oh, you're my angel. Yeah. Yeah. Can't you hear it? For getting me this video. And then he had to sign an NDA saying that there was the only video. And if it wasn't, and he ever went out with it, it was going to be $1 million to get out of it, that he was going to sue him for $1 million. But the supervisor, here's the thing, the supervisor was the one that took the video, that took the copy, gave it to him on a USB, and deleted it. So the supervisor was the one that deleted it. I don't know if Mirando or Mederondo or whatever his name is, the supervisor, I don't know if he has an immunity deal or not. Apparently the marshal had a physically removed. Well, see, he's having a meltdown. Oh, Diddy's having a meltdown. This right here is Rico all over the place. This is Rico. This is Rico. Bribery. We already proved the kidnapping. I mean, it's just going and going and going. But anything he did in cash. And we were just Linda was just here a second ago, and we were talking. The man worked only in cash, so he must have signed everything over to his mom earlier. But I don't think that's going to make a difference at all because, yeah, yeah, Box, Stock, and Barrel sold it, sent it all over to his mom, and he thought it was going to keep it safe. I don't think it's going to keep it safe at all. Not at all, period. I was telling Linda, I was watching all the backstories and people last night listening, and so there's some goofy people. Jaguar Wright testified. No, she didn't. No, she has not testified. All these people are saying, all these people have testified. Justin Bieber testified. No, he didn't. He hasn't testified. Jaguar Wright hasn't testified. No one's testified other than what we know right now for sure. But so I was watching all of this kind of stuff, and Woofy, my phone was going beep, 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 beep. My son was sending me text after text after text for orders from the Wilhelmina Chocolate Factory. It was crazy. I was like, oh, please. I'm trying to watch this. Yeah. Lots of orders, so I'm going to have to go and get some more stuff. And yeah. Right? That's what you get. That's what I get for even mentioning it. It's all right. It's all right. At least I know what is popular and what's not. So that's a good thing. And so I will get those orders ready and get them out for him by tomorrow night. So I'm looking to see if there's anything updated because they're taking a break, and no, nothing is updated. I don't know who the new witness is. It's coming this afternoon. There's supposed to be a victim showing up. I don't know who that is. Who knows? The way this trial has been going, who knows who's going to show up? Surprise! And then I heard about a 1,500 person bust. They busted 1,500 people in North Carolina last night. And what do you think that was on? Yeah. Yeah. Child trafficking, I can guarantee you. I don't know for sure, but I know that it was a 1,500 person bust last night. So people are getting busted and going to jail while we sit here wondering if Diddy's going to stay in jail. and it's all in the shadows. Really? Oh yeah, you know what? I heard that they were out there screaming her name. That was testified just now that yeah, they're out there screaming her real name. I don't even know what her real name is, but you know what? That's wrong. That is wrong in all kinds of levels. I mean, she's going under Mia for a reason. That's insanity. Hang on one quick second. I got puppers underneath me that are digging for a blanket, and there's no blanket. No blanket here for them. No blanket for you. Yeah. I guess Sarah, and did you hear about the one that screamed in the back of the courtroom? People are nuts. People are losing their minds. I'm wondering, really, I'm starting to wonder if they didn't put something in those shots, like the what is the NRA that they add to those shots? Is it messing with people's minds and now they're becoming crazy? Oh, this morning somebody screamed at the Right, the COVID shots, but now they're putting that mRNA in all of the shots. Look at me, I sound. I am so tired. Been having to get up every morning at 2 o'clock in the morning to wander across the street and give the dog his peel. So tonight I'll be able to sleep all night. What a nice feeling after 6 days. Anyway, in the back of the courtroom, somebody stood up, one of Diddy's supporters, and said, "They're going after you, those MFers." Really? Really? You know, Diddy, if he hadn't done something wrong, they wouldn't be going, those MFers wouldn't be going after you, right? Jeez. Don't call them MFers just because they're going after you, because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve them to go after you. In fact, you need to be buried underneath the jailhouse floor. And nobody needs to be doing any tunnels to get to you either. It's insanity at its most. And you know, I would have Mirando, the supervisor on this whole deal, got $50,000. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we're seeing it all over the place. They're all getting paid off. You know, um, the supervisor made $50,000, and Garcia testified that he got $30,000 because Diddy gave him $100,000 in cash. And you know, it's really amazing to me how this man has his own cash counting machine at his house, but he sat there and counted out $100,000 in cash with his little cash counting machine, and gave it to him in a paper sack, gave it to Garcia in a paper sack. And then he gave 50,000. It was like the supervisor said he would take $50,000 to get rid of the video and give him a copy of it, and there was not supposed to be any others. And then Garcia took 30,000 of the extra 50. Yeah, and then lost a $10 million lawsuit. See, I mean, come on. That just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the hotel did. Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. So they asked Garcia what he did with his $30,000 that he got from the deal. And he said that he bought himself a new car with cash. And then he got a hold of Diddy a few years later asking if there was any work. What happened to your job? Guess you weren't too good at it? Or was it after the lawsuit? That was probably when he lost his job, was after the $10 million lawsuit. And then they said that Cassie said she didn't, that they saw her on FaceTime, that he saw her on FaceTime, and she wanted to get rid of the video also, but she was in a hoodie. Do we know for sure it was her? Just, I mean, if you got a hoodie on and it's dark, how do you know for sure that it was her? I mean, it probably was. Diddy probably told her to tell him that. I mean, it just gets deeper and deeper and more corrupt and more corrupt. While all this other stuff is happening around us, all these investigations and all these wars and rumors of wars and people shooting off missiles at different people. I mean, it's crazy right now. It's insane. It's totally insane. And here we are, watching Diddy and his little clown show. This morning, all I could hear was that song from the circus. Because this has been nothing but a pure circus. And I wonder how much the lady got paid in the back of the courtroom to jump up and scream. You know, there's Diddy's little minions are paying people like $10 an hour or $20 an hour, something crazy, to wear those free Diddy shirts outside the courtroom. I mean, that's not enough money. I don't care. $20 an hour is not enough money to parade up and down the street with a T-shirt on that says "Free Diddy." I don't even want anything that says Diddy on it. I mean, I'll make a shirt that says "Itty Bitty Demon Diddy" and then have a picture of him with horns and red eyes. I'd wear that in front of the courthouse. But I'm not going to wear Free Diddy because he doesn't need to be freed at all. Period. That's my own personal opinion. Take it or leave it. I just think that the man is crazy. And he belongs in jail forever. Remember that show, The Sandlot? And it happens forever. Well, Diddy, you're going to jail forever. I just don't see, Trump's not going to give him a pardon, and he's just going to go away. And from what I understand, he looks like Red Fox because he's aged so much due to all of this stress. No, I don't think it's the stress. I think that he was gray before. He just kept dyeing his hair. That's my personal opinion. I just think that the man is insane and he needs to go to jail. All right. So, they're starting back up, and the judge said, "Let's bring our jury back out. All rise." And prosecution said, "I'm going to enter a stipulation into evidence. During a search at Miami airport, law enforcement seized 2 cell phones from Christina Corum's person." Prosecution published that for the jury. It says 24 contacts, including Eddie My Angel and his phone number, and Eddie My Friend Intercontinental. There was also a photo of the ID on the device. Wow, that's pretty funny. And here, just put him under, don't put him under Eddie Garcia. Just put him under Eddie My Angel. Oh my God, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. It just gets better and better. Oh, Eddie My Angel. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. This is just insanity at its greatest here. So we've gotten a couple cell phones from old KK. What do you guys think? Here's my question. What do you think? KK's up to her eyeballs, all involved in this. We can think about this a little bit, and we know somebody else that was like this under similar charges, right? Like Ghislaine Maxwell, right? So you think there's going to be another trial? And do you think that KK's going to get her justice? Or do you think we're going to get justice on KK? Yeah. I mean, come on. Everybody's got to have an assistant. Please. I bet we haven't seen her yet. I'll bet she is having a nervous. Maybe she's the one that's missing in action. But I'll tell you what, I bet she is scared shitless right now. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I'll bet she is scared to death. Because she'll do time right beside the diddler, just in a women's prison instead. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, KK. She should be. You're absolutely right. She should be there. She's the one. They said Garcia said that KK called the hotel umpteen times trying to get this video. And he kept telling her, no, you can't have it. You have to have a subpoena. You can't have it. And finally, unless, well, I don't know. I don't think that's going to matter at this point because I think she's up way over her eyeballs in this mess. I think I would be really surprised to see if she got a deal, you know. Although, Garcia shouldn't have got a deal because he got $50,000 or $30,000 to buy a new car. So, maybe, I don't know. Does he deserve to go to jail? Should he go to jail? I mean, there's a lot of questions there. Who's involved? How many are involved? And that poor man only made $10.50 for being security for that hotel. That is insane. Yeah, still insane. Even if it was 2009 or 2008. $10.50 is not a lot of money for security, I wouldn't think, especially in New York or LA or where, I guess it was LA. But that's not a lot of money in LA to be security in this fancy hotel. It's crazy. Right? Minimum wage. So that's why he got $30,000 extra. He could have probably held out and got a lot more. I bet if he had held out, he could have got a heck of a lot more. Because I think Diddy was willing to pay just about anything for that wonderful tape that showed him to be a jerk. Okay. All right. So we got that. And then it says, prosecution, we are also entering into evidence records from Signature Bank. Judge, any objections? Defense, no. Prosecution, with that, the government calls Derek Ferguson. How do you know Mr. Combs? Ferguson worked for him 1998 to 2017. Garcia, sorry. Look, I was getting ready to go back over it. It's like we were going to take Ferguson off the stand and bring in old Garcia again. So now we have Derek Ferguson on the stand. Does that ring any bells to anybody? Good morning, Royal Apple, my friend. Does the name Derek Ferguson ring any bells to anybody? He's apparently a Diddy employee, right? But I wonder what he did. He just said he worked for Diddy from 1998 to 2017. Maybe he was one of his little minions that he had running all the errands and doing all the crazy. Yes, Royal Apple, it's me. It's me. We're catching up on all this wonderful Diddy, the diddler, itty bitty demon Diddy. Craziness. I was telling everybody while we wait for this next one. My while we wait for this next one to come up. I've been turned my name into Wilhelmina Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. My son said, "Mom, I want you to make some candy and I'll sell it at work." And so I said, "Okay, well, I'll make you a bunch of samples, and then you can, the samples of the different kind of candy, and then you can call me and text me and tell me the orders." And last night it was going ping, ping, ping. I thought, oh no, what have I opened up? It's okay. It's all right. I'll do that for a job instead of getting one. Right? And I don't want to spend, I told him we can do it once a week. He could take it over there once a week, but let's don't do more than once a week, because then that would cut into the time I have with you guys. And I don't want to do that either, because we have a lot to uncover here. When the Carmelo Anthony trial comes on, we're going to watch that live. So right now it's too bad we have to sit here and read this one. And it's too bad we can't see the diddler's face. I mean, it's already been said. It's already been said that they've had to restrain him. Chain that man to the chair. Tell him to quit getting out of his chair. Sit down. Shut up. I don't care who you are. You know what? They haven't set a date yet. I keep watching and waiting. But I tell you what, that's another one that just keeps getting more intense. They had that big... no, I don't think they have yet. I'm waiting and watching. But I know that he had to give back his GoFundMe money. So, Alexander, Dominique Alexander, that is going in front of everybody, that's his Carmelo's protector, he didn't get any money because they have to refund it all. So I'm sure he's getting ready to back out of the picture, or maybe he's got a different area that they can go fund me to. It's insane. All of this stuff is totally insane. And then and I want to know personally, I mean, like I asked Linda this morning, if somebody goes in, like the guy in Boulder, and he did that horrific thing where he made himself a makeshift homemade flamethrower and had 16 Molotov cocktails and set those four elderly people on fire while they were doing their little parade, their demonstration to get the prisoners back from Hamas for Israel. And he said, yes, I did it. I want them all gone. I want them all unalived. And you know what? I would do it again. Why are we going to waste court time and court money on this man? He's already said he did it. He said he'd do it again if he ever got out. Why do we want to waste our money? I just want to know why. I mean, that's just insane. Okay, so we're back to this. Prosecution, what was your role? And Ferguson said he was the CFO. He was the certified freak-off officer. No, I don't know. He was the CFO. Prosecution, how were your bonuses determined? Ferguson, company results and my performance. Prosecution, were you responsible for managing Mr. Combs' personal finances? Ferguson, yes, at times during my tenure. Prosecution, who was your supervisor? Ferguson, sometimes to be Mr. Combs himself. Prosecution, how often did you interact with Mr. Combs? Ferguson, a couple of times a week. Later, he became more of a chairman. Diddy was a chairman. Yeah, right. Yeah, he was a chairman, all right. He sat in his chair and pleasured himself and watched everything. He was a chairman, all right. Prosecution, how did you communicate with him? Ferguson, back then, pagers. Oh, so they were using pagers. That's crazy. Diddy was the chairman, and this guy was the CFO, certified freak off officer. It's insanity at its best. Just telling you, it's crazy. I'm the CFO, and he was my boss, and he was a chairman. Well, we all know he sat in a chair. He wasn't a chairman in the executive part of the terms. He was a chairman while he sat and watched all these freak off parties and pleasured himself, the weirdo, with all of his Astroglide. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. So, Mr. Ferguson, I'm gonna play prosecution here. And Mr. Ferguson, have you signed an immunity for everything you're getting ready to testify for here today? Are you not going to take responsibility for anything you've done? No, I'm not going to take responsibility for anything that Diddy told me to do. Yes, because I signed immunity. Whatever. Sometimes this bothers me. I don't know. I don't know if KK. I I don't know if KK. My autocorrect. I don't know if KK can get immunity to all of this. I mean, she's immune to something. I don't know what. She's guilty of a lot of things. I don't think she can get immunity. I think she can. I think that, okay. So what I think we should do is we should put KK in the same cell with Ghislaine Maxwell so they could sit there and compare notes. That sounds like a great idea. Yes, she is. She is. She's definitely as guilty as Diddy. Just like Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine, whatever her stinking name is, Maxwell. She's doing time. Just put KK in there with her. They can just sit there and, well, this is what we did when I worked for Mr. E. And this is what I did. And this is what I did when I worked for Mr. C. And this is how we almost got away with it. Jeez. Insanity at its best. And this guy's all back in the day. Oh, yeah, well, we used a pager. So if I had anything important to say, I would just page him and he'd call me. Can you imagine? You're getting a page. I'm getting a page from, is that Ferguson's phone? I'll give him a call. Maybe he's got something to say that's important. Whatever. Insanity at its best. I'm telling you, it's insanity at its best. And they're all guilty, and they all need to go to jail, and they all need to do time, and Diddy needs to be in a cell with Bubba. That's what I say, anyway. In my personal opinion, put him in a cell with big old Bubba. And then KK can go do time with Maxwell. And everybody will have to live happily ever after they put the rest of them in jail. Right? Right? I'm telling you, they're doing so many arrests right now, and now they're rebuilding Alcatraz. They said that they wanted it done as soon as possible. So we got to get Alcatraz ASAP. I'm going to Google that, and I'll have the answer for you guys tonight, 6:30. How many inmates will Alcatraz hold? The new Alcatraz, and then we'll have kind of an idea how many people are going to jail. And they'll put Diddy in the new Alcatraz, right? Right? Can you imagine being over there on that island? I've never seen Alcatraz, but it's over there on an island all by itself. And I would make sure I had great white sharks just circling the island. Well, you know what? Well, there isn't anybody in there right now in Alcatraz. So, after they get it rebuilt, it's going to take a little time. Well, yeah, you know what? Maybe what we ought to do is confiscate Mr. E's island, and make it another Guantanamo, and then we'll just put them all over there. But we have to start somewhere, so we'll just redo Alcatraz, and if it doesn't hold enough people, then we'll go on to Little St. James Island, and put a big electrical fence around it, and then we'll just throw them in there like animals. Because if everything goes to plan, and they bust everybody that they're getting ready to bust for doing the things they've done, they're going to need another prison, because the ones that we've got have a lot of people in them right now. So, yeah. So, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to build another prison, and put all those weirdo people in it, and anybody that like your elite, all the rich and famous, and the elite government elite will all go and stay at Alcatraz, and they can all just sit there and compare notes together, the weirdos. Alrighty. So, prosecution says, who is this? And it's a picture of Uncle Paulie. Ferguson says, Paul. Prosecution, and these individuals? Ferguson said, Roger Bonds and D-Rock. They were security. I know, because you were a CFO. Whatever. Prosecution. What was Mr. Combs the sole owner? Ferguson said, yes, 100% of Bad Boy Productions and Films. And films. This is all of his videos that he has on all these freak offs that he was selling. He was selling some of those under the black market. And that's where the and films came in, because he's never done a movie in his life. So then the prosecution said, what was his role? Ferguson, creative and marketing. Yeah, you were creative and did marketing. Prosecution, did some ventures have partners? Ferguson, Bad Boy Records with Arista, also with Warner. Sean Jean Clothing had a partner. Prosecution, what were the profits? Oh, Ferguson said, very profitable. Oh, they were very profitable. Whatever. That's why he carried cash in his house. You know, just in case he had to file bankruptcy. He wanted to have a bunch of cash on hand. You guys, people don't carry that kind of cash in their house unless they're doing something illegal. So I wonder if the feds confiscated all of his cash in his house when they got all that baby oil and Astroglide and all that crazy stuff. Here's 100 for you, and 100 for you, and 100 for you, and 100 for you. We'll just rain it. We'll just make it rain $100 bills from Diddy's house because he's got so much cash. It's crazy. It's insane, and he needs to go to jail, and we need to stop this circus. It is. This is what it is. It's a circus. Yeah, they'd have their own island. You know what? You're right. They'd have their own island. They already have an island. And you know, Wolfie, they say that Little St. James has got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of activity going on at Little St. James right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what is, you know, old Janice and her Timu wig. Do you think that, that she's going to get immunity too? No, she's not. If she testifies at all, it'll be a defense for her son, and she's up to her eyeballs in it. So I don't think she's going to testify, but I think that the feds will bring her down on another court charge or something because I can't see her. Well, you know. Yeah, her cedar crazy. Well, this morning she had one on that looked like, I think I've seen Tina Turner wear one of those wigs that she had on today. She probably typed into Temu, Tina Turner wig, and got it from Temu for $1.25 because they're all crazy looking. You know. It's funny, you can't help but laugh about it. All right. So we're at the point where Ferguson is the CFO, creative, and he did creativity and marketing. He was creative, all right. Jeez. All right. So the prosecution says, how is Mr. Combs paid? Ferguson said, sometimes salaries, sometimes distributions from the companies. Yeah, his mom went and got a whole bunch of cash from his companies, and he got paid in cash. Prosecution, what is a distribution? Ferguson, if solely owned or passed through like S Corp, the owner determines the drawdown. And prosecution said, did he ever have a bank account? And he said yes. Prosecution, could you sign on the bank accounts? And Ferguson said yes. Prosecution, which banks did Combs' company use? Ferguson, Citibank. Oh, I'm never going to Citibank again. HSBC and Signature Bank. Now, I thought I heard Signature Bank was in trouble. Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I thought I heard that. And HSBC was the bank that people couldn't get their money out of, right? That was in California that they locked the doors. Diddy was keeping his cash flow out of there. Anyway, sorry. Citibank, HSBC, and Signature Bank. Prosecution, what is this one? Ferguson, Janice Combs Music Incorporated. It furnished his name and likeness. Janice Combs Music Incorporated. So, okay, see, I told you. That's where Diddy gave all of his money and signed it all over to his mom, and his mom put it in Janice Combs' corporate bank account. And she probably doesn't know the first thing about music or producing anything. But from what I understand, Melvin Combs, the dad, was some kind of producer of music or something on that order or something. I think I heard that. It's crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Citibank and Signature Bank. And I thought I heard Signature Bank was getting ready to file bankruptcy. Don't quote me on that, but I know that they're having problems. And Citibank, I know, is having problems. And I don't know where old Janice Janice Combs International Music, whatever, Janice Combs Music Incorporated. That's sick, guys. That is so sick. That is sick. What a piece of work. Okay. Prosecution said, Mr. Ferguson, are these your initials in section 4? Ferguson said, yes, it was 9/29 of 09. Prosecution, is this also a business checking account? Ferguson said, yes. Prosecution, and this one? Ferguson, with Diego, that's about Karak. Prosecution, how is this account funded? Inflows. So, shoot, look at that. Diddy has more accounts than he has bottles of baby oil. And he puts a little here and a little there, and this is from the vodka, and this is from the freak offs, and this is from the films, and this, jeez. I mean, it's all going to be confiscated. It's all been he's going to lose it all. It's all going to go to the government, but they're going to have to check. They're going to have to track all this money down. It's like track it down. Find out what's going on. Where did it go? Wow. Okay. Prosecution, what about credit cards? Ferguson, primarily American Express, expenses reimbursements. Prosecution, did Mr. Combs have an American Express? Ferguson, yes. Prosecution, did he use it for his personal as well as his professional? Ferguson said yes. Prosecution, and the companies paid? Ferguson said yes. Now, from what I understand, about what I heard on the back side of all of this, that King Combs was brought to court by American Express for not paying his $17,000 credit card bill. Just saying. So I wonder if Diddy paid his. I mean, I guess if I was a credit card company and, he's got all this money, he's a multimillionaire, and he's P. Diddy, and you don't know what's going on, I mean, yeah, you would issue him a credit card. Probably had more than one. Probably had a bunch of them. That's insane. It's sick and it's insane. Oh, Mr. Ferguson, did you sign your immunity order? Because you're getting ready to go to jail, sir. You're getting ready to go to jail. You and Janice Combs in her crazy wig, and I mean, this is gonna put a lot of people in jail, guys. A lot of people. And yeah, if they get immunity, I'll bet the feds have a little bit of a different sort on these people. I'll just bet you. And yeah, you can just bet that he's going to jail. They're all going to jail. I don't know if they have a jail big enough for all of them. By the time they get the government involved in all the people that are going to jail in the government, from what I understand, they're not going to have a jail big enough. So we're sitting here at a standstill right now. We don't have anything to report but Ferguson, right? Remember that song that Ozzy sang, Mr. Crowley? Well, this is Mr. Diddy. Why are you messing with my head? Craziness. He needs to be riding on a crazy train. Unbelievable. Really honestly speaking, did you ever, yeah, right? He's riding on a crazy train. He is. He was the crazy train. The diddler and the crazy train. He was the conductor and the ticket taker. Yeah. Well, at his freak off parties, remember at his freak off parties? If anyone came to his freak off parties that he had on those big yachts of his that he probably rented, I don't think he owned one, but um, he took their cell phones, he took their wallets and their cell phones from them, so they didn't have anything on there. Now, if those had ever crashed, that would have been a bad thing because nobody had their. Well, I guess there was probably a bag full of wallets and cell phones if they could retrieve them. But I mean, yeah, here, give me your driver's license and give me your cell phone so nobody knows who you are. And we're going to go on the Love Boat. We're going to go on the Love Boat with Brother Love. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't help but make fun of this because I just can't imagine that he thought in his mind of minds that he could have gotten away with any of this. This is how crazy the man is. And Woofy probably is crazy enough to get up there and try to testify for himself because nobody's doing it right. Well, you know what, Diddy? You shouldn't have done all that stuff. You just shouldn't have. You shouldn't have done it. My mom used to say when I was little, I used to say, I should have not done that. Well, you know what? He should have not done that. All right. So the prosecution said, how is outgoing cash handled? Ferguson, we had a petty cash account and cash advances, for example, for those traveling who didn't have American Express cards. All right, here's 100 for you, and 100 for you, and 1,000 for you, and 1,000. And you're going where? Okay, here's another 1,000. You don't have to have an American Express card. I'm going to give you a bunch of cash. Jeez. Prosecution. When Mr. Combs was paid in cash, how did it work? Ferguson. We'd match it if a contract. What? We'd match it if a Okay, well, I don't think that sentence is right, but apparently they would match the contract. We'd match it if it was a contract. Hmm. Wow. Just wow. Insanity at its best. The crazy train. The diddler on the crazy train. He went off the rails on a crazy train because he drove the train. He drove the train himself. He was the conductor. All aboard! We're going on the Love Boat, and you'll meet Brother Love once you get on the boat. I am sorry, guys. None of this is funny. It isn't. None of it is one bit funny. It is insanity, and it's horrific. And he is a demon, and he needs to go to prison for the rest of his life. I want you to be aware that that's in my opinion, and that's what I think. But I have to make fun of him because I think he's crazy. I think anybody that would do this kind of stuff to people and try to control them and beat them and coerce them and blackmail them and bribe other people and do all the things that he did under the name of bad, he is dangerous. And to go under the name of brother love. Hi. Hi. Hi, I'm Brother Love, and this is the Love Boat. I think you better stay on dry land. If don't buy a ticket to the Love Boat if Diddy owns the ship. Just don't. So we know that he has Bad Boys Records and Films. Yeah, and films. I guess that's what when he was doing his filming at these freak off parties. That's where his and films came from. Or just in case, right? Oh, you know what? I might be able to sell these videos later, so we'll call it and films. Whatever, whatever. And then he had another couple of accounts, and then old Janice's mom had an account that he probably had control of. I'm sure. Well, and this Ferguson guy could sign on any of the accounts. So he's just as dangerous. This Ferguson's pretty dangerous too. Look, he could get in Diddy's accounts and he could sign him. He must have really trusted this Ferguson fella. Had to have. He had to have really trusted him so he could turn around and let him sign on any of those accounts. Because that's a lot of money that were in those accounts for somebody to have that much control over. Okay. So prosecution said, were you aware of Mr. Combs' security staff carrying cash for him? Ferguson said, I was not aware of that. Oh, baloney. You know he was. Prosecution, and when you were responsible for his personal finances, what did you do? Well, he did the budget for the year. Ferguson said he did the budget for the year. All right, we're going to budget your money and you're only allowed so many free copies. Give me a break. Prosecution said, and properties, Ferguson said inflows and outflows. So he was the personal financing guru manager of all of his accounts. So he watched the inflow and the outflow. Wow. So I wonder if he got paid $10 an hour for that. I doubt it. To have that much control over a billionaire's bank accounts. A billionaire. Come on. A billionaire's bank accounts. He had to have been making pretty dang good money. All right, let's see if we have another one here. Okay. Prosecution said, what properties did he own? Ferguson, the Hamptons, New York, Miami. They were held in LCCs for anonymity and liability reduction and tax benefits. And the prosecution said, did you oversee other personal accounts for Mr. Combs? And Ferguson said, yes. And the prosecution said, were you aware of him supporting other people? And Ferguson said, yes, from his personal earnings. Prosecution said, Your Honor, this might be a good place for us to take our break. So this is a good time for them to go to lunch. Insane. So they're taking their break and they're going to lunch. And this is probably where I'm going to call it for today. Well, not for today, but I will be back on with Linda at 6:30 tonight, and we'll go over the rest of the day with you guys. It's insanity. You guys, it's absolute, total insanity. And he's guilty of sin, and so is KK, and so is a bunch of his other people, and they need to go to jail, and we need to quit wasting taxpayers' money and just send him away. You're guilty, just send him away. I mean, if there was any doubt, I guess you would want to have the full trial, but I mean, I just don't see it. I just don't see where there could be any doubt in anybody's mind. So anyway. All right, guys. I love y'all. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you at 6:30 tonight, where we will, as Paul Harvey says, hear the rest of the story. All right. Have a great rest of your day. See you at 6:30. Thanks for sharing your morning with me. See you soon. Bye.
From shade